Hello, welcome to Vlogmas Day 8. Happy Vlogmas everybody. So this morning I've been editing the Vlogmas video for yesterday. That is ready to upload to YouTube, but I'm not going to do that until 4 o'clock so that it's more of a regular time every day. I've just packed some orders ready to go in the post this afternoon, and I'm going to spend most of the day dyeing yarn. I started doing some yesterday, but I've got to finish those off that I started and also dye some more colours as well. And I'm hoping to get the yarn clubs dyed up as well. So I thought I'd show you the garment that I've got on today. This is the Tobin Sweater by Cashmerette. I'll just stand up so you can see it a little bit better. So it is quite a loose fitting jumper. I've also lost weight, so it does look a little bit baggier than it did before. There is a version of the top where you have like a big long cuff, but I just omitted the cuff section on this so I could have 3/4 length sleeves. And there's several versions, one of which has got this big collar. I really like the collar actually, but sometimes it's a little bit warm. You can't sort of take the collar off separately, like if you were wearing a shawl and a sort of low neck jumper, which I find sort of more useful if you're going shopping or something like that. But if you know that it's going to be really cold, it's handy to have the neck really thick. I wanted to have made the whole thing in this fabric, but I only had a small remnant that was left over at the end of a bolt that I picked up, and I thought, oh, I love that. So I used that bit up and paired it up with some dusky pink. This is actually coming a bit brighter on camera than it actually is in real life. It's more of a dusky pink. But I wear it when it's really, really cold, and I know that I'm going to be cold in the garage. Normally I stick to my sort of jumper that I had on yesterday for dyeing, but I might wear this today in the garage anyway. Hopefully I won't get any dye on it. So I've got a couple of questions that I've got from the Ask Me Anything thread on the Ravelry group, and I thought I'd answer them here. So my friend Jo, who I used to go to school with, asked a question. She was saying that her husband was asking a question about socks and that she couldn't answer it, so she thought she'd put that question to me. So the socks often fall down the leg because they're no longer elastic. Would you ever knit a sock and put a strip of elastic through the channel? And have I got any tips on getting socks to stay up? Now, I normally don't have any issue with socks falling down, mainly because I always knit them tight around the leg. So if you've got about 1.5 or 2 inches of negative ease, they should hold up, even when they've sort of been washed and worn a number of times. I do find that once you've worn socks, they do tend to give a little bit, but once you've washed them, they normally sort of shrink back into shape again. So normally with the ones I've used, with that extra bit of negative ease, I don't have any issues with them falling down. But if you do have socks that you've already knitted, I've never done this, but I know somebody who has done it in the past that I find it works well. If you thread that very fine elastic around the knit stitches in the cuff, and I do it at least 3 rows, just through the knit stitches on 3 rows all the way around, that should sort of hold it up a little bit. You could do it for the whole cuff to make it really secure, and obviously that's got an elasticity in it that should hold up on your leg, but obviously you'll need at least 3 rows around the top of the cuff. I think I have seen a tutorial on that, so I will pop it in the description bar down below so that you'll be able to sort of watch that through and get an idea of what the protocol is. So I hope that answers your question, Jo. My second question is from Susan, and she said, if I didn't have my own business, what would Adam and I be doing as a job? Now, I used to be a research associate at the UEA, the University of East Anglia, which is, I did my PhD at the UEA, and I was a postdoctoral researcher. So I was basically studying, my particular focus was on studying how tendon cells are affected by mechanical load. That was when I was studying, when I was at the UEA anyway. So I'd probably be still doing something like that. I had sort of short contracts, so I decided to make a go of it on my own business, because I thought rather than having to sort of reapply for other projects or write my own projects, I decided to just make a go of my own business instead, and that way I could do it at home. I do miss working in science a little bit, but I do have that freedom of being able to work at home and work around things myself. Adam is an electronics engineer, well he was, before he gave up his job to sort of look at gents and help me with the shop, but he used to sort of fix televisions and computers and audio equipment, so he is very useful if something goes wrong electronic wise, but he doesn't really have enough time to do anything other than sort of help me with the odd thing electronically with the business. So he only just does that and looks after Jensen and does sort of jobs with the business around the house as well. I will get Adam to show you what jobs in terms of dyeing he does this afternoon. Now, obviously that's not computer related, but I'll show you what bit of the work he tends to help me with a little bit later on. If you have any questions, go over to the Ask Me Anything thread on the Ravelry group, or you can email me on crafthousemagik@gmail.com and I'll try and get back to you either on Vlogmas or on a normal podcast video. So let's go and open Jensen's advent, shall we? Jensen, should we open your advent?
We're on number 8, Jensen.
Where's number 8?
Where's number 8? Can you see number 8? That's a fox. Can you see number 8? It's a rabbit and a snowman.
What do you think's going to be in number 8?
Number 8's up here, look. So
Daddy, open it so you can get in.
Whoops. There we go.
Yeah, the others are up there. We can get them down in a minute.
There we go. You're going to open this. It's... look what it is. It's a robin. Shall I get it out?
Oh, you love birds, don't you, Jensen?
Whoops. There it is. There's a robin. I'll get the rest of them down.
Let's have a look at your robin.
Is it a rockin' robin?
Very appropriate for this year's advent, isn't it, Jensen? So today's colourway was inspired by Birds Set Free by Sia.
We'll be sharing our secrets, making dreams come true. Let's have a toast for the lovers. We'll tumble round in the snow.
So we're wearing matching socks today. I haven't knit Jensen any yet, but I'm hoping to get a bit of time this year to knit him some, so that we'll all be matching. These are some West Yorkshire spinners in one of the Christmas colourways a while ago. Unfortunately, I've got red contrast toes and the dye is actually run into the white, but they're still pretty, so I'll still wear them. Adam wanted green, so which contrast colour will you have, Jensen? Do you want red like Mummy or green like Daddy? Green like Daddy, okay. I'll have to get some knitted up for you. I used a...
You like the green,
yeah.
do
you? Yeah.
Good boy.
These socks are actually made by knitting a sock tube and then splitting them into 2 pairs of socks. And I've got a video on how to do that, so I will leave a link in the description bar down below. So these are the Rockin' Robin yarns that I dyed yesterday, and they've been in the tubs overnight. I'm squeezing the excess water out. Sorry about the light in here. I have got my sort of lights on, but it's just a bit shadowed. And once I've filled up this steamer, I will steam it for an hour. But it just means that every bit of dye has soaked up into the yarn. From this colourway. I'll show you it in the steamer in a second. Now, apologies for the camera angle and the rubbish light, but you can see what I'm doing. Popping them in the steamer. I've got one of those stackable steamers, which is good because it runs off the electricity and we've got solar panels. So.
Just wanna have a holiday, yeah.
Right, there we are. I've got a couple more just to fill this up, but I will put it onto a hob, and I put the extractor fan when I'm running these, just because it gets all the hot steamy air out of the room nice and easily. But there we go. I'm going to fill up a few of these, at least. I think I'm going to be doing at least 4 of these this morning, and then this afternoon there's going to be at least another 1 round of 4 steamers to finish off the colourways. There might even be more than that. I've got quite a few individual skeins of each colourway to do, so that's going to take me a little bit of time.
Oh, it's Christmas time.
So this is Adam's job, putting the yarn from the steamers into bowls of Eucalan, soaking, washing them ready to put out to dry.
Washing the floor at the same time.
Yeah, gives it a nice clean. Next step is to spin the yarn, get the excess water out of it. And I've got my glamorous assistant doing this bit.
When does he turn up?
So we're now in the conservatory, putting the yarn out to dry. We've got some of these heated areas here so that the yarn dries better. Still takes a little while to dry, but there we go. I have another large batch of yarn that's still in the tubs in the garage, so I'll be steaming those tomorrow. I'm going to leave them overnight. Even though it's Saturday, I'm going to do a little bit of work tomorrow. Saves us staying up really late this evening. But there we go. Thank you very much, Adam.
You're welcome.
I try to figure this out. Yes, I did. 'Cause you left something for me under the Christmas tree. Yeah. So baby, come home tonight and let me hold you.
Finished spinning. I'm using my knitting oddie to make it into a hank so that I can give it a wash, and then tomorrow I can cake it up ready to knit something. So I need to choose a pattern. I think I'm going to knit Dad a hat because he always likes using his hats to keep him nice and cosy. The colours come out sort of a brown, but with little, you can see sort of pops of colour if you look really closely, so I think I quite like it. So there we go, it's all skeined up, but I am actually going to give it a soak and put it on the areas to dry until the morning, and then hopefully it will dry and I can knit something with it. But there we go, I've managed to have a finished skein. I've just given it a quick weigh as well, and it's 106 grams, so plenty to do something with. So it's time to open day 8 of your advent, Adam.
Day 8. It's a sign.
I've got a cool little sign to Hogwarts.
It's that way.
Is that Hagrid, Adam? Is that Hagrid?
That was, yes. Yeah.